Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 3 versus 3 on Collombelles, and in this one I'm going to be playing with the 3rd Armoured Division. I'm playing with Val and Betts, who are using the 15th Infantry Scots and 6th Airborne, Then I'm playing against Nazardov, RTS Dan and Rhodesians Never Die, who are using the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier, 12th SS Panzer and 116th Panzer respectively. So this game is a bit different to usual. As you can see, we are on a smaller map. This is the 1 versus 1 version of Collombelles. And also we are starting with 750 points each. Now I didn't set up this lobby, I just joined a random one. And it's always interesting to see the sort of settings that people choose in those lobbies, and just playing with them can sometimes be really fun. So this was one of those games where I decided to play it along with Val and Betts. We all joined in the lobby and jumped on one side, and that's where we're at right now. So as you can see, quite a lot of units going down. Of course, if you have 750 points to work with, that's always going to happen. But let's just switch it to my point of view. I was going to take the left side. Betts and Val are basically sort of sharing the responsibility of the mid and right. So that was pretty much it from the start. I'm going to be buying in all of my AT guns. Main reason for this is I'm not entirely sure who I'm going to be up against for starters, and I might be up against a combination of different divisions. I mean, it might happen on their side, it might happen on our side. The map's so small that anyone could support anyone anywhere, so there's always that to worry about. But AT guns, they're always good. They always have targets. AT guns, they can shoot at half tracks, tanks, you know, vehicles just in general, like jeeps and trucks and so on. So they're always useful, and bringing all 3 of them at the start of the game is generally quite a good idea in such a small map, because the only thing that can really push you hard is tanks, and therefore you've got to be ready for them. So I'm also going to be bringing up multiple Stuarts and the Scots there. I was kind of focusing my build around countering AT guns. So I brought in the Scots. I eventually swap out some of these Stuarts for mortar half-tracks. And I basically was hoping that I'd be up against a player who focused on a lot of AT guns early on. In the mid, we're going to be seeing Val bring in 3 Churchill 5s. And then we're going to be having Betts with his infantry try and hold the factory there. Then we're going to be seeing on the right side a combination of Val and Betts controlling the right side of the river there. This was a relatively long deployment. It didn't take us too long to get points down, just because when you're given so many points, it's easy to spend it on your larger units. And if you have enough of them, they can really count. So for example, here where I have, you know, multiple tanks, you can make it work early on because you have so many of them. Whereas like in a game where you have less points to work from the start, having just one of them on their own is not always useful. So let's just speed things up, get the game underway. Not too much to talk about in terms of where I'm placing my units. It's pretty standard on this left side. Putting AT guns in the bushes, having my mortar carriers just move up as far as they can. Don't have to move them up too far, just because I am going to be engaging just past this tree line. You don't have very far to go at all. So we've got 2 AT guns for the road, quite simply to stop any rushes coming down there. Then I've got a couple of M8 Scots. They are to take on any opposing AT guns that might arrive. Now one thing you might have noticed is that I completely forgot recon at the start of this game. It was a really massive mistake that cost me so damn much, but I'll let you guys see that as it happens. I do work this out later on, but having recon from the start of the game would have been very nice. Betts is going to be bringing in the Pathfinder just to drop some napalm onto the train line there. Going to be burning out those Panzer Grenadiers and the 222. 6-pounder is going to get hit pretty damn hard. Boyd Cromwell is engaging that from distance there. goodbye to the 6-pounder. Down the road, MG42 was taken out by the M8 Scots, and on this left side, M1 gun's going to be engaged by the Panzer III and a 250-10, which is the half-track with the pack on it. Unfortunately, because they are so accurate, every shot lands, and I lose my AT gun on that left side. Possibly what I should have done with the AT gun is actually had it in this sort of forest area, sort of moved it up there and then used it to ambush. Then I might have actually got a kill on something. But in this case, what happened was I lost my AT gun for pretty much free. My other AT guns are on the right side, and they have this massive concentration of armor on the left. So yeah, these AT guns aren't extremely useful right now. This one's got a shot onto a half-track there, but other than that, isn't in the best of positions. And here with an AT gun engaging my M8 Scots, I'm forced to fall back from that as well. Mortar carrier's trying to do its best where it can. I have this mortar carrier so far up, by the way, just because it does have that 50 cal, which can be extremely useful. But here goes an engagement between the 234 and my M5A1. M5A1 is going to miss 2 shots. I'm going to be forced to retreat since a second AT gun is now engaging my Stuart. Mortar on the right side is going to be starting to slam my M1 gun. Actually, that was probably just an IG-18. Yes, it was. IG-18 takes out one of my AT guns there. And now we see the Panzer III come across, and that's going to be engaging my Stuart. I'm trying to retreat it, trying to get it out of range. It needs to be just outside of 1,000 meter range. And as you can see, just before it gets there, it gets taken out. And my smoke is just a little bit too late there. Trying to block off that line of fire so that my Stuart might survive, but not this time round. So I've brought my Scots over to the left side with a fast move command, just so that they can help hold back any infantry that appears in these trees, and also half tracks. The M8 Scots can take out half tracks if they're lucky. Now I'm going to be seeing the Panzerwerfer there slam into my troops. Multiple half tracks being forced to fall back, including my mortar carrier. Nothing died, luckily. Armoured leader is still alive there on the edge of the flames. But having them all forced back like that, I was kind of just waiting for the Panzer IIIs to rush around the corner and start popping all of my half tracks. But it didn't happen. We had plenty of time to work with, bringing up a half track to drop off some infantry on the road. And currently we're running a 50-50s. No one's in the lead. Val's harassing enemy fire support with his Churchill 5s. We've taken full control of the factory thanks to Betts. They didn't really contest it too much, so he managed to get his infantry all the way up there. And on this right side it's very contested. 6-pounder being engaged by 2 20mm. If it doesn't get the kills, well, it's going to get taken out, and that's exactly what happens. Another 6-pounder there going for the kill onto the boy to Firefly. Probably would have been better off trying to kill off one of these 20mm because they are what's killing him right now. Having so many of these 20mm is definitely a good way to overcome AT guns. 259s can definitely do the job with the Panzer II. They're pushing very, very hard on that right side. Now we're going to be seeing my mortar carrier fall back on the left side as it gets harassed by the 250-10. My armoured rifles had moved up into the tree line again. Got to be a bit wary that armoured rifles don't really hold up to any form of infantry whatsoever. They have 6 HE power at 100 meter range at best. Otherwise they have 4 HE power, so yeah, not the best infantry units in the world. And my mortar carrier here, I tried to make it reverse to the other side of the tree line, but it pathed wrong and ended up getting killed off by the Panzer III there. I'm going to ambush the 250-10 with my Stuart, which was nice. And I'm waiting to get a shot onto the 253 as well. But there's only so much time the Stuart has left, because As soon as these armoured rifles die, I've got to be careful that the Panzer Grenadiers don't run through this tree line and fire a Panzerfaust at the M5A1. However, the Panzer III, one shot, bails out my Stuart, and that's going to be job done there. So you can see my left side not doing too well. It didn't help that I only have 65 points per minute at this point, and I'm playing against the 116th Windhund, who have 90 points per minute. And also his tanks just straight up outclass mine. With my third Armoured at the point I played this game, I didn't have any M4A1s in Phase A, and you can see that's really not going well for me right now, because if I had an M4A1, his Panzer IIIs would be in a pretty bad position, honestly, engaging them at max range. But Stuarts, he can more than deal with Stuarts with his Panzer III. So I'm basically giving him the ideal target. But what I'm going to do here is engage his Panzer III with as many vehicles as possible. So I've got 2 Stuarts on target, I've got the 2 Scots on target, just trying to make him fall back. Then maybe I can get a kill shot onto the side of the Panzer III or something. That's what I was looking for there. But as you can see, I still don't have any recon here, and therefore I just can't really see what's coming, what's in this tree line, none of that. And it was a massive mistake. Just don't forget your recon, guys. Yeah, sometimes I'm just asleep and I forget these things. But either way, Churchill 5s have been forced to fall back from Val in the factory because one of them got killed on the left side. Panzer III takes out one of my M8 Scots. And we managed to make one of the Panzer IIIs fall back, but we're just not doing very well. Rhodesians was doing a fantastic job, really, because anytime I wanted to move forwards my tanks, for example, he'd rolled forwards an AT gun, and that was forcing me to fall back. So the engagements were always in his favour, because he had not only an AT gun firing at me, but also whatever vehicle was engaging my tanks. And Stuarts just can't deal with that unless you have enough of them. So in that case, you saw the AT gun take out one of the Stuarts. I'm bringing up, finally, some recon here. Bet's also bringing up some recon. And yeah, these armoured rifles are pretty much just to stop infantry from pushing freely into these buildings. But since a lot of my units are dead, and I have pretty much no AT guns left, there's not much to stop these Panzer IIIs and the 234 from pushing forwards. I've got the M1 gun on the road still, but that's all I have left. The worst part about the 3rd Armoured is that in Phase A you don't get any veteran AT guns, and you only get 3 of them. Actually, you might be able to get more, but you just don't have enough space to really work with that. We do have Phase B coming up in 15 seconds, so basically I'm hoping I can turn things around on this left side moving into Phase B, because that will give me access to my 76mm Shermans, maybe a jumbo, something like that, in order to push back onto my enemy. So here we can see the armoured rifles. They're going to be trying to get into the building there, but one shot from the 234 is going to pin down the armoured rifles. I moved around the Scot to try and get a cheeky shot onto the Panzer Grenadiers, but Panzer IIIs are in line of sight and do take out my Scot. So, not the most intelligent move there from me, and you can see that I'm just sort of panicking to try and control the bleeding on this left side. So Panzer Grenadiers are now in the town. Armoured rifles just aren't doing well either. It's constantly pinned down. Probably should have fallen them back as soon as they got pinned down, honestly, but didn't matter in the end. Panzer Grenadiers here going to get slammed pretty hard. Mortar carrier in the middle that I moved over here earlier hasn't really been doing too much. I was occasionally targeting some of these flak billings and so on, but I definitely could have been doing that more often. But finally, we have another AT gun available. 17 pounder from Betts. Should be more than enough to take out a Panzer III once it lands on target. We've got the 76mm Sherman on the way, and that's followed by Val's Challenger there. I've got an M4A1 coming up to give those a veterancy. And Val's also bringing up a command infantry for this side. So one 17-pounder shot takes out a Panzer III, the second one bails them out, Challenger finishes them off, and teammates to the rescue as we clean up the major threat on the left side. So with the Panzer III's dead, there's not too much to worry about, especially considering they were the Panzer IIIMs. So just got to basically take back this town area, keep pushing back, got to take care of the AT guns, and we should be okay. We have the recon to spot those now, so just got to make it work. Val's brought up his rifle leader. I've got my M4A1 here. 50 cals are going to be opening up onto this Panzer Grenadier as it runs out of the town. 17-pounders taking out the recon as well there. The 234 going down. Now I'm bringing up even more recon. Can never have enough. Now I finally realised that I didn't have any. I'm bringing in probably too much, but either way. Also bringing in this armoured rifles. That's going to be charging on down to the buildings there. Tanks continuously pressing on, trying to take out these Panzer Grenadiers. M4A3 is aiming at this Marder 3. Marder 3 only has 2 armour. And boom. Goes down. Second shot. Takes them out. Panzer 3, or Panzer Grenadiers, still in this town. I thought I'd already killed these guys, but then I realised I hadn't. And as they fire the Panzerfaust at my M4A3, well, they get revealed. And my armoured rifles and scouts are just there in time to finish things off. Spear through don't last a second, as multiple 50 cals go on target. And we're taking back the town area. And I have the recon as well. So now it's just time to push back. M4A3 is going to be pushing up on the far left. PaK-38 reveals itself as it fires at the M3 Scout. A 1200 meter range gun on the M4A3. Just going to continuously target the PaK-38 to make sure that it dies. With the accuracy on that gun, you can see the PaK-38 is going to get taken out by a direct hit. Manages to bounce a shot onto my M3 Scout, which was rather miraculous. As you can see over on this left side, M5A1 is now following Val's Challenger. Put that on a little follow order, because not only will it help protect the Challenger against infantry, but it will provide the veterancy that the Challenger so sorely needs, because Challengers, they don't have any inherent veterancy, so that's always a bit of an issue. But either way, my M4A3 76mm with its 2-star veterancy is doing a lot of work on that left side. M1 gun's taking a shot at the IG-33 before it was dropped off, but now the M1 gun has revealed itself. It's going to go down to the IG, of course. M3 Scout and M3 Half-Track trying to help out with some of the Panzer Grenadiers as I'm pushing across the open. And what I'm trying to do here is just use these armoured rifles to reveal any units in the tree lines and then allow my tanks to just take them out. Got a second Sherman on the way. A second command Sherman, and that's going to be pushing up the right side of the fields there. On the far right, things have calmed down for a little while. Allows Betts and Val to catch their breath as we try and push back on this left side. Currently running the +1 now. It was swinging back and forth quite a lot because of the way that the front line was moving. But at the moment we're actually behind 230 points to 73. So we have got quite a lot of work to do. Most of the territory gain comes from the factory. Here we can see the M4A3 engaging more Marder 3s. One of them's going to go down there. Val's Challenger also helping out as we take on the second Marder 3. Nebelwerfer manages to fire its rockets, but doesn't really hit the mark. It manages to fire 6 rockets in the middle of all of the units we had here, which was quite amusing. Unfortunately didn't work out. So Rhodesians Never Die is being pushed back now. M4A3's finding targets. And we also have the help of a couple of 25-pounders from Val now to get rid of some stubborn fire support units. So MG42 down, got to take care of the next one. There is a Panzer Grenadier squad in the backside of this forest that we've got to take care of. 17-pounder on the right side, still picking off trucks, so that's good. And here I come with another scout unit as we continue to move up. So 76mm Shermans engaging the Pak 40. We need to do as much damage to that as we can. The scouts here give us the recon information we need to see that all the way up there. And what I'm bringing up now is this M3A1 with the LMG rifles. And LMG rifles, in stark contrast to normal armoured rifles, are actually pretty damn decent at ranged engagement. The Panzer Grenadier are going to go down there. Typhoon AT comes in, takes out the Panzerwerfer. Cromwell and M4A1 are taken on the IG-33. We're just continuing the attack move on now, though. ME-109s were brought in to counter the Typhoon, but they weren't in time. Now there's just AT guns everywhere. So they've been preparing for this push. A couple of Pak 40s there. One of them actually does take out my M4A3 Sherman. We also had a Pak 38 on the right side, picking up a couple of half tracks. And with my M4A3 down, there's not too much more I can do. Yes, the Challenger took out one of the Pak 40s, but I can't really afford to approach Marder 3s and the Pak 40s with 1,000 meter range Shermans. It's just not going to work. So I decided to bring up a Jumbo. And the good thing about a Jumbo is it can push on to 13 AP power and kind of shrug it off until it gets into range, which is really nice. Just got to hope that they don't really have any Panthers and so on, because those would really cause me some issues. But either way, on the right side, things are still going relatively well for Betts and Val. Bringing in some off-map artillery now, as well as the Mosquito there. And that Mosquito is going to drop some flames onto the road and on top of the Spear Troop and the Pioneers. Manages to get it out of there with quite a lot of damage, though. That Mosquito is going to take a little while to get back in, but definitely denies the push on the right side for now. On the left side, it's pretty concentrated, to be expected on such a small map with so many players. Just waiting for the Jumbo to come up to assess my options. Got to make sure my tanks don't die in the meantime, so reversing the M4A1 out of range of the Pak 40. And I'm going to be trying to get that into cover. And I've just got to push forwards my recon, make sure that that can see what's going on. This mortar could have still been firing, but I just forgot about it for the majority of the game. When I was like zoomed out like this, you can see it's completely hidden behind Betts' Tetrarchs there. So I lost complete track of that mortar carrier. It would have been definitely useful to counter battery their mortars and take on these Pak 38s and maybe open a path in the middle of the map where we could have pushed up. But then in the meantime, all focus is on the left. Sort of slowed down a lot. Our push back went really well, actually, because we're now at 53% territory and we don't have to push it too hard. 24 minutes of the game has already passed. We have to get up to 3,000 to win the game outright before the time limit runs out. So we're more likely to have the time limit run out than win an outright victory at this point, unless we manage to break all the way through. So we're kind of talking with each other and just trying to work out what we want to do. I'm just going to withdraw my Jumbo from the engagement there because I wasn't really going to chance walking into so many Pak 40s and Marder 3s. Yes, my Jumbo wouldn't have been penetrated, but each shot would still affect the morale of my Jumbo, and that's the biggest issue. As soon as my Jumbo gets forced to fall back and it turns its side armor or something, that's when my Jumbo dies. So I don't want to walk into 4 AT guns if I don't have to, and we do have Val's 25 pounders here that are going to be engaging the Pak 40s for me. He's got basically 4 25 pounders now. And yeah, they're going to be trying to do the job on the left side. But in the meantime, all my tanks are moving over to the right, as I do have 2 M4A3 105 Shermans on their way. These are fantastic for engaging fire support units at 1,200 meter range with that 15 HE power. So I'm going to be accompanying them with the rest of my tanks and trying to make a push up the centre, where we have quite good recon on all of these units, the Pak 38s, the IG-18s and so on. Val's going to be starting to hit them with the 25 pounders as well, taking out one of the Pak 38s there. M4A1's going to be engaging the 232. Got the weapon damage there, making that ineffective, which is nice. Yeah, the rest of my tanks just roll in continuously over to the right side. Not entirely sure why that one's reversing, but there we go. It's interesting to see what your units decide to do sometimes. Going to be losing an M3A1 half-track then to an AT gun. By now we see my 105s engaging. There is a Nebelwerfers here. They've got the IG-8 or IG-33s. Also got the FK-18s, and they're all in range of my 105 Shermans. So just allowing them to freely engage. Ideally I would have had this command Stuart a little bit closer so they had extra accuracy, because accurate shots from those 15 HE power guns can like one-shot support units, which is really, really nice. We are being pushed slightly here by this infantry, but not too much I can do about that. I do have, of course, the LMG rifles, but I just couldn't really fight pioneers in these forests properly, because the pioneers have those grenades. On this left side, Cromwell's going to go down. 105s are doing a lot of damage to these IG-33s, but not finishing off the kills. On this left side, Spitfire is going to be catching on to the Ju-87 and shooting that down. I'm bringing in a P-38 Lightning to help out. I am going to be flying over the 20 mils, and since Val decides to evac, I'm going to be doing the same, as I don't want to continue an engagement 2v1 when I don't really have enough fighters to make a difference there. But what happened on this right side while that was all going on was both of my 105 Shermans got one shot by a 2-star Panther G. One shot after the other comes in and takes both of those tanks out while I wasn't paying attention. And now there's not really too much I can do against the Panther G. Ju-87 comes in, takes out our AT gun there. My M4A1 has its engine destroyed here, so as much as it's trying to take out this Pak 38, not going to survive very long against a Panther G. The Panther G is just popping units left and right. Got to decide what I want to do, because I can't really push into a Panther G. I just can't. We are currently at 52% territory lead. On this right side, Vets and Val have had to fall back from this tree line because it constantly got hit by off-map and so on. So yeah, just got to decide what I want to do. I've got a M4A3 76mm, I've got a Jumbo, I've got a 105mm M4A3, I've got Command Stuart and a Command Sherman. It's got a pretty nice sort of armoured division going on. But I just can't really deal with Panthers properly. So I've got an M5 gun. Brought that up to the left side to help out. I brought one up to the right previously that helped kill off a couple of units that were pushing Betts and Val. So yeah, it's just pretty much a matter of deciding where I want to go with all of these tanks. And meanwhile, well, Val is certainly racking up a large amount of 25 pounders. Second M4A3 76mm on the way. Going to be pushing up the road here since the Panther G has moved to the left side of the tree line. Obviously, as soon as I move my units up here, they're going to be responding with the Panther Gs. Another one on the way down the train tracks there. So I've got to be really careful with this engagement. Trying to spread out my Shermans so they are able to hit the Panther from multiple sides, but the recon in that tree gets taken out. And we're going to be seeing here a Pack 38 side shot my M4A3 76mm just before it manages to turn around. You can see how close that was. Manages to hit in the side armor, go straight through. Technically should have bounced, but there we go. So Panther G versus M5 gun, 3-star M5 gun. Going to be able to get away from that. I lose an M4A1 command to another Panther G there as well. So not only did I just lose the M4A3 76mm, also lost the command Sherman, and I'm in a pretty damn bad spot. So what can I do with two M4A3 105mm and a jumbo and a command Stuart? Not too much at the moment, especially not against Panther Gs. So I decide to move them over to the factory, when they might be useful, taking out some of these flak fillings, Pack 38s, mortars, and maybe even these Pack 40s. So just going to shift all of these tanks over to the right. Avoid the Panthers entirely. And what I'm going to do is leave it up to Val here and Betts to leave some 17-pounders on this left side to kill those Panthers should they advance. So that's pretty much where we're at. 51% territory lead. We're still gaining the points thanks to mainly the factory position here. This pushes well over halfway. And we're still getting some decent kills here and there. The Challenger there taking out the Verbelwind on the right side, but we do see a Befell Panther on the way. So Bet's going to have to be a bit careful of that. Does just manage to micro it out of the way in time. Any artillery pieces that show themselves are getting slammed by Val's 25-pounder. He's trying to keep them on the move best he can. You can see that's what's happening here. Although they are all clumped up after every sort of salvo, he's moving them so that they don't get hit by a bomber and so on. Because it could very easily be this Ju-88 comes in with the two 25 HE power bombs. Just blows up like multiple 25-pounders. Here we're going to see the Spitfires come in onto the Ju-88. The Ju-88 is pretty damn fast, honestly. We're going to be seeing multiple Me-109s now come in. Pack 38 taken out by my M4A3. And Lightning's going to try and get onto the back of the Me-109s, but they just have a lot of AA there. See those flak fillings just proving to be a bit too much of an issue. And Val's bombers here, one of them's going to go down. The one on the right side is going to be taken out as well by the Me-109s. So that's two bombers dead. Oh, it looks like that one actually got out. So I'm going to take the responsibility of hitting this area with my Calliope instead. I'll take out one of the Pack 40s. Trying to go for this Pack 40 as well. So just going to allow the artillery fire to continue to come in. And as soon as I finally get that second kill, I stop the artillery strike and save a few rockets for another target. Also got a second Calliope coming up, and that's going to hopefully target the Panzerwerfers and the Werframmen on the road there. So you can see my Calliope aiming, and I'm going to be going for those shots. So let's see how well this does. Calliopes aren't the most accurate, but does manage to hit the Opel Blitz smack bang in the face. have been nice if the rockets did start landing somewhere near the Panzerwerfers. One of them actually goes smack bang into the anti-air vehicle there. But yeah, this is incredibly concentrated. As you can see, there is units everywhere on this map. And artillery firing backwards and forwards almost constantly. That 40 is going to be going down as my Calliope smacks it in the face. We take out one of the Panther Gs on the right, thanks to Betts' 17-pounder. So we're not doing too bad. I mean, we're pretty thin on the left side, but we have the 17-pounders that stop the Panthers from rolling forwards, and as long as those Panthers can't get forwards, we're going to be in a decent position. But currently 51% territory lead. It's still very, very close. Calliopes are going to be rolling back to these supply vehicles to resupply them with more rockets after I use up all of their barrages. We're going to be seeing the 17-pounder take out a verbal wind on the right side. And now my tanks are making a push from the factory. So I've got the 105 Sherman there. I've got a M4A 376mm. But we're going to be seeing Eberfeld Panzer IV take out one of my 105s very easily. He's actually going to aim at my other 105 Sherman and one-shot that as well. He actually ends up hitting the Stuart, which is quite interesting. I was wondering whether he actually targeted the Stuart or not, because you could see when I zoomed in there, it looked like the Stuart dived in front of the M4A3 105mm to save it, which was funny. But yeah, 2 one-shot kills from a Panzer IV wasn't exactly what I was looking for in that engagement. Another verbal bin dying on the right side. And now we're seeing Betts move up his infantry with my tanks. But we're just going to be bumping into lots of Stoss troop that even the recon can't really see until they get close. And because of that, all that happens is the Stoss trooping start engaging at 100 meter range, and the tanks don't have enough time to pin them down. So here's a good example. Panzer Grenadiers open up. We also see the AA piece there come in. Just rips to shreds the recon squad. And moving forwards infantry blind onto 100 meter range infantry isn't always the best idea. So although we have plenty of MGs on target and fire support and so on, this is being focused very hard now. We're seeing the Ju-88 come in, so we kind of call off this attack after that bomber comes in. On the left side I do have a jumbo just chilling. Got to make sure that this Panther G doesn't really make too much ground. So what I'm going to do with this jumbo, the idea was that I would bring it in to the bottom side of these trees and have it sort of hide here, just like I did with the Stuart at the start of the game. And if the Panther comes close enough, the jumbo should have a chance to get the kill shot. Finally getting some decent mortar kills with the mortar carrier here, taking out the 81mm mortars. On the right side, Betts is pushing up with his Challenger and Command Cromwell. He's going to be taken on by an AT gun, Pack 40 arriving. Got to make sure that he pins that down as soon as he can, otherwise that could spell doom. ME-109 is going to be taken out by Betts' Tempests, and he's going to try and save his own Mosquito Pathfinder here, and does just about manage to. Tempest comes in. They're going to finish off the kill. No, it's not. Gets evacs. Mustang finishes it off. So on this division, for my aircraft, I have solely pretty much Mustangs and P-38s. P-38s just for stunning things, and then the Mustangs just obviously for air domination. But on the right side, we're doing pretty well now. 55% territory lead. My tanks, which are pushed past the factory, are engaging Marder 3s that have arrived to hold me back. Crocodile's going to be helping take out the infantry they find in the forest there, but now being hit a lot by the SK-18s and the FK-18s. Jumbo's being hit pretty damn hard by the Panther G there. This guy unfortunately got bailed out, I believe, by the Panther G, but the Panther G couldn't actually get the kill. You can see there's 2 tanks there as well. Another Panther G and a Pack 40 shooting at that Jumbo and just not getting the kills, which was hilarious. Either way, we are going to be seeing the Pack 40 on the left side, unvetted, one-shot the Challenger there. So, yeah, we're not in a great position. Do you have the 17-pounders waiting in position on return fire for any Panthers that decide to come a little bit too far? And I do have the Jumbo in position behind the trees like I planned, so that's okay. Just got to hold now. Make sure that we get some infantry in there to defend, like we do have with the air landing. And just allow Betts and Val to continue the push on the right side. Still harassing units in the middle. But with all this artillery coming in, I have to fall back quite a lot of my units. Calliope's going to be engaging the Marders here with its rockets. If he can get a direct hit, then we would kill a Marder 3, but that's going to come down to the Jumbo as it gets on target. Calliope actually gets hit directly by the Marder 3, and I'm going to be forced to fall that back. On this right side, big artillery coming in from Betts using the 203mm off map there. We're also going to be seeing Ju-88 come in. That's going to bump into a lot of AA, and Mustangs are going to get onto its tail, and we're going to see that shot down. ME-109 is going to come in onto the back of the Mosquito Pathfinder, but again, Mustangs in the sky, going to be shooting them down as well. Lovely stuff. Easy couple kills there for the Mustangs. Mosquitoes napalm the road, so that's going to make it very hard for them to reinforce this right side. Ju-88 again getting hit by the Tripolstons, and those bombs are going to force the Crocodile to fall back, but still quite a significant force moving forwards. Just got to be careful that he doesn't let his Challengers get taken out by the Panzer IV and the half-track on that right side. My M4A 376mm takes out another Marder 3 there. And we're going to be seeing the P-38 come in and take out the Pioneers on the far right side. So there goes the half-track. Betts is going to be pushing through with the Humber Mark III first, which is okay. And then followed by the Challenger and the Cromwell. Cromwell is going to get taken out. Challenger actually misses its next shot. Fortunately, the Panzer III does miss its, or Panzer IV does miss its shot. Challenger gets a shot off. Can the Panzer IV return the shot before the Challenger? Yes, it can. Challenger is going to fall back. It's actually going to fall back in front of the Panzer IV as well. Engine destroyed. That Challenger is very dead. Betts' little push there comes to an end. On this left side, Panther G is engaging my Jumbo at very close range. It's like 400 meter range, and the Panther G has just fired like 4 bouncing shots into the front. Just can't break through. So what I'm going to do is have Val open up with the 17-pounder. Calliope is going to come in to make him fall back, and then I'm going to try and push around with the Jumbo to try and get like a side shot or a rear shot if it starts to try and run away. Calliope here's going in onto the opposing artillery, trying to take out some of the FK-18s or SK-18s there. But that kind of provokes a response from all of their SK and FK-18s. So here we are, pushing quite hard on this right side for a 56% territory lead. We're at 1,439 points, and there's 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. So Ju-88 coming in That's going to be bombing out the M5 gun here. 17 pounder still alive though. Calliope is going to be hitting these Panzergrens. Another Ju-88 comes in to bomb out the 17 pounder there. And in come my Mustangs to shoot down the Me-109s. There is still some AA on that left side though, so got to be careful of that. The Mustangs do just get into range of the Me-109s, but don't have enough time on target with the AA firing at them to take them out. So the battle continues. Bringing up plenty of infantry now just to reinforce this left side and kill off these Panzer Grenadiers. On the right, M4A3 doing a fantastic job of taking out the Flak-Billings and Marders and all sorts of stuff as we continue to push forwards. Going to be getting my Calliope resupplied there. A couple of Typhoon ATs come in for an attempted kill on the Panther G. Jumbo moves out to try and get some shots off. Tempests are going to be engaging the Me-109s. Spitfire should be able to finish those off as he gets onto the tail. And I've also got my P-51 Mustangs coming in now to try and kill off the second one. So Mustang there going in for the kill and does get it. Jumbo's struggling to kill off the Panther G as it reverses up the side of the map. And now we've also got the Hummel coming in as well. So here comes my infantry with the half-tracks. Armoured rifles being dropped off. Armoured rifles, of course, aren't really that good for engaging enemy infantry, but a fodder that allow the half-tracks and 50 cals to get on target, so it works out quite nicely in that respect. And over on this left side, Spear Troop going to go down. Any Panzer Grenadiers left in these trees are going to get slammed, and my Jumbo's continuously firing at the Panther G, not allowing that any respite. 57% territory lead now on this right side. Things have kind of come to an end. This push not really going too much further. M4A3 is actually trying to engage a Panther G, but then gets weapon damage by the Panther G on the right side. And this one gets hit by the Mosquito and then bails out my M4A3. The M4A3 is now in cover, so not going to get killed off just yet. I'm on the left side, another Panzer Grenadier squad getting ripped to shreds. Trying to push against all of this arty, which is pretty crazy, honestly. You can see my Calliope is being reloaded, but with 30 seconds left on the clock, aren't going to fire another salvo anytime soon. Fuel explosion onto one of the Panther Gs thanks to Betts' 17 pounder, and Val's 17 pounder picks off the Panther G on the left. So this M4A3, although bailed out, is going to live till the end of the game. 15 seconds left on the clock. One of my half-tracks gets destroyed on the left by the Panther Gs. Holding off with the Jumbos. Second Jumbo being brought up there. But there you have it. After 45 minutes exactly, the timer running out, myself, Val and Betts are going to win a conquest point victory over our opponents. And if you look at the scores, well, I thought I was going to do pretty bad because that start that I had was absolutely awful. But in the end, 3,826 kills to 2,640 losses. Val, 4,151 kills to 3,365 losses. And Betts there with 3,576 kills to 3,370 losses. On the opposing side, RTS Dan, he got a lot of kills, but also quite a lot of losses. 4,155 kills, 5,420 losses. That's going to be a lot of the Panthers, of course, going down to the 17 pounders. So if we jump over to the kills, this M4A3 really saved the day on the far left side as we pushed forwards. Took out Marder 3s, multiple half-tracks, the Pack 38 there. And then past that, this M4A3 took out a few units before it died to the Panthers. And we got the M4A3 76mm there. Again, doing a lot of damage. Befell Panzer 4, Marder 3, Marder 3, Marder 3. They were trying to use a lot of those Marder 3s throughout the game, and honestly I probably could have pushed on them harder with Jumbos, for example. But the Jumbo's still doing a good job here as well. And the Mustangs, of course, getting plenty of kills, giving me a lot of score. And that's pretty much it. So there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that pretty intense factory gameplay going on there. It wasn't the most standard game in the world, but was definitely fun, and having so many points at the start of the game certainly led to an intense game from the start, where being pushed back on that left side was genuinely pretty scary, but I knew that moving into Phase B and Phase C with the 3rd Armoured, I would have a lot more points to work with, and that's what worked out in the end. So that's all, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.